Welcome back, dear learners. Before the ad break, we had a question where we had to calculate amounts on a cash budget. I have another question here, and here is what we are required to do. Number one, what is the aim of preparing a cash budget? Number two, name two items which will not appear in a cash budget. Number three, if cash sales are 60% of total sales, calculate the total sales for April. Number four, determine the cash surplus or deficit for April. Then lastly, determine the bank balance at the end of April. Let's start with question number one as we go. It says, what is the aim of preparing a cash budget? Number one, I would say it is a financial plan of expected receipts and payments. So this is number one, why we would prepare a cash budget. A financial plan of expected receipts and payments. Number two, we would prepare a cash budget for planning the receipts and payments for a period in the future. So then we can plan the receipts and payments for a period in the future. The third point, and the last one that I'll give you, is we'd prepare a cash budget so then we can assess expected receipts and payments that will also enable us to manage cash. So we will be able to assess the expected receipts and payments, and therefore, thereby, we can manage cash. Question number two. Name two items which will not appear in a cash budget. Two items that will not appear in a cash budget. I'm going to give you more than two. Number one, depreciation. All right. Number two, bad debts. Number three, when the owner takes trading stock for personal use. So we're talking about drawings of stock. Number four, discount allowed. And the last one I'll give you is discount received. Question number three reads, if cash sales are 60% of total sales, calculate the total sales for April. All right. So we know that total sales are 100%. Total sales have to be 100%. And then cash sales are 60%. This is cash sales. Therefore, if we are given cash sales, which is 63,000 here, which is 63,000, we can then be able to say what we want, because we want the total. We want the total sales. We know that the 40% that remains is going to be credit sales, but we want the 100%. So we say what we want is 100. Remember, the what you want goes on top. Whatever you want goes on top. And then you take what you have. What you have is 60. So it's 100 over 60 multiplied by 63,000. When you punch that in the calculator, it will then give you 105,000. 105,000. That becomes the total sales. Let's go to question number four. Determine the cash surplus or deficit for April. Cash surplus or deficit for April. First, we need to get the total receipts here and the total payments. Let's do that. To get the total receipts, we say 63,000 in the calculator plus 45,800 plus 20,000. These are all your cash receipts. So we add all the receipts. 63 plus 45.8 plus 20,000. That is going to give us 128,800. 128.8. Then I'm going to add my total payments. On my payments, I'm going to add 4,500 plus 37,733 plus 4,500 plus 10,000 plus 1,600 plus 900 plus 2,160. These are all my payments. And when I add all of these, they'll give me 61,393. Remember what I said earlier on. Your payments must be in bracket. So if I say my receipts minus my payments, that will give us 67,407. 67,407. That gives us the cash surplus. It is not a deficit. If this amount was negative, then it would have been a deficit. But this one, it is a surplus because my receipts are more than my payments. The moment your total receipts, 128,800, is more than your payments of 61,393, then you have a cash surplus. But if your receipts were lesser than your payments, then you're going to have a deficit. All right. And then question number 5 then says, determine the bank balance at the end of April. Determine the bank balance at the end of April. To get that, I'll simply say 67,407, which is this one here, the cash surplus, plus 62,405, 62,405. If I add this two, that will give me 129,812. This is what I bring here, 129,812. That gives us our cash closing balance, our bank closing balance rather, our bank closing balance. Dear learners, let's go for an ad break and I'll see you shortly.